almost time to open. And here is today's setup. There's my Charmander, Paw Patrol. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, the day after market, and I am so tired. My body hurts. So, we had a pretty successful market. I'm definitely pleased with how things went. It felt like it was very slow. But at the end of the day, when I tallied up and tried to see, does, what I wrote down match what cash and card payments that I had, I was pleasantly surprised with the totals. So, before we get into the breakdown, a couple of things. I have to do a change of plans for my countdown to Christmas. This week, because of some of the items that sold, I need to concentrate on remaking some of those. I know I won't get everything done that I want to get done, but there are a few that I really do need to make, and you'll see here when I go through the breakdown. So instead of kind of, crochet with me where I'm testing out the new free patterns each day, it's going to be more like, this is what I got to make yesterday type thing, getting ready for this coming weekend, which is a 2-day market. So, I have plenty of stuff, so I'm not panicked if I don't, but there are a couple of items that I definitely need to make, and I need to make multiples of. And then after that, depending on how that weekend goes, I can get back to doing the free patterns. So I hope nobody's disappointed. I know some of you guys really like them, and some of y'all are like, it is what it is, whatever you show us. So we're going to do our best. I didn't plan very well. So I was, yesterday's market was an outside market. And when we got there to set up, we had to wait in line. You could go in at 8. Market starts at 10. You have 2 hours to set up. You're supposed to pull your car up, unload, and then proceed to the vendor parking and come back to set up. Not everybody follows the rules. So that was a little hairy. So when we finally get to our assigned spot, we get everything unloaded. It was tough to even get close, and I was like, oh, I didn't bring the wagon because it said you could pull up, unload, and then go. Like we weren't going to have to lug anything. I kind of wish I would have had the wagon. And not that I would have had room in the car for it unless John had it in his lap. I don't know how people pack their cars and can still see, because mine was to the ceiling. So, we manage the traffic jam. We get everything out of the car. John goes to move the car. And I'm standing there and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting because I need his help with the canopy. I can't do anything till the canopy's set up. So I get it out of the bag and I get it partially opened where it'll stand on its own. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm like, good Lord, what'd he do? Stop to talk to everybody? No, it's like a 20-minute walk to the vendor parking. And everybody always says, oh, there's people there that'll help with setting up the canopy. Nope. But in everybody else's defense, they were in the same boat trying to get up to their spots, and it was jammed, like with cars. Like you couldn't, if you, like where I was at, I'm almost to the end, and then you had to take this path that goes through where all the vendors are to get way to the other end of the place to go park your car, and you're having to try and maneuver around everybody else's cars where they're trying to unload. So make a long story short, by the time John made it back and we get the canopy set up and then we're setting up the tables, I'm on like a hill. Like here's the road, and then you're in the grassy area right under this giant oak tree where you probably would have needed 5 people holding hands to go around the tree. This tree was so big. And the ground is slanted. Like you're on a hill. The ground is slanted. So my tables were like this. Well, fortunately, I didn't clean everything out of the car that I wanted to clean out of the car. And I still had my little wood blocks. And for the indoor markets with less space, you don't get as many tables. I would take those wood blocks and place them underneath my wood crates to raise them up so that I could have things on the table in front of it, and you can still see what's inside the wood crate. So I had to take these wood blocks, like here's the table. I took the wood blocks and put them under the legs on this end to try and level it out some. It helped a lot, but it was still a little slanted. And because the ground wasn't level, I don't know how many times I tripped, stumbled, whatever. I mean, I didn't fall to the ground or anything, but the tree roots just, it was rough. It was a little rough. I'm supposed to be back there in April for their Easter event. And I'm going to request, I don't know if it'll do any good, that I can be placed closer to the bathrooms, which is way up at the other end. It was a long walk to go potty. But the ground is a lot more level. And that's my main reason. So I'm going to play I got a weak bladder card and hope that'll help me get a little closer to that end of the market. But, I mean, other than that, and it being 39 degrees when we got there, I really didn't have a complaint. It was a good market. Now, the people that have been there repeatedly over the years, they were saying that it's not as good as it has been for them in previous years. But we've been hearing that all year from everybody. So, and in this area, I really, really honestly think it's because of those storms. I mean, technically it was 3 back-to-back storms, but 2. The last 2 were the ones that really affected the area. So it took me, by the time John made it back, it took me every minute of the time I had left to be set up before the place opened. And I was still kind of working on it after it first opened, which was okay, because it was like, at first I'm going, oh, I don't know about this, because it was really slow. I didn't see many people walking around at all, and I thought, oh no, here we go again. I'm going to sit here all day long, and it's going to be a dud. It was probably almost an hour in before I had my first sale. And then it just got better from there. So it was definitely off to a slow start, which is fine. They had live entertainment and stuff. Of course, I was way far away from it, so I didn't get to see any of it. And it's probably a good thing, because from what I could hear, the guy wasn't that good of a singer. The lady was good, but the guy was, I guess it's all a matter of taste. But people were having fun. So there were, that I know of, 2 other crochet vendors. One that had plushies made out of the chenille and the blanket yarns down near the bathrooms. And then one down on my end of the thing right across the row and about 3 booths down. And hers was all acrylic. And then there was mine. So, considering the place didn't feel like it was buzzing with people, at least not on my end of the area, because we were so far away from all the activities and entertainment and whatever little events they had going on. I just lost track of what I was going to say. But yeah, I think I was going to say, considering that, I think I did pretty well. Okay, so the breakdown goes, and I'm going to try and put in pictures, but because I had this whole memory issue thing with that, I had to delete a whole bunch of pictures. So I'm hoping, I mean, I was going through it rather quickly, but trying to be careful. So I'm hoping I didn't delete anything that I still have or had. And hopefully I'll be able to show you. But if I don't have a picture up of it, it's because it's one that got deleted. So, first sale of the day. Like I said, it was almost an hour in, and I was starting to get a little worried. Was one of the cats, like the tuxedo cat. First thing, and it was the kind of coral colored one. The little girl, she wanted that one. Grandma tried to talk her into the tuxedo cat because it looked like her cat at home, but nope, she wanted that one. I don't think Grandma was real thrilled with the price either. So that was the very first sale of the day. And then the rest of it, I kind of went through and lumped it together for multiples so that I'm not having to go through every single transaction just for the sake of time, because I did sell 55 items. At first I thought it was 54, but I missed writing one down. So I sold 55. The first one was the cat. And then a new item that I added was the little chicks and the eggs. I sold 4 of those. I took 7, sold 4, and the light yellow ones are the ones that went first. And it didn't matter. I did like brown eggs and white eggs. Color of the egg didn't matter. They liked the little yellow chick, and then mustard went after that. And I had 2 little black and white, kind of like marbled, and those 2 did not sell. So that is on my remake list, is the little chicks and the eggs. Fortunately, those are very quick, and I should be able to, get maybe 8 or 10 of them done before this coming weekend. Then we sold the pig in a floaty, the Crochet Grove pattern. That has been with me since spring. It's been at several markets, and it finally sold. Another new item that we added, and this was from, actually, I think it was our very first Countdown to Christmas video, the rubber duckies. I made 3. I had one in yellow, one in coral, and one in blue, and the yellow one sold. And that was pretty early on. It was actually like the 4th item that sold. So I want to make a couple more yellows. Then I had one soot sprite with me. The others I had up at the dungeon, and I didn't pick through the tote that came back from the dungeon to see how many of those that I have left. But I took one soot sprite, and it sold. And that's just one that, I made a ball and put some arms and legs on it and some eyes and a couple of little star-shaped beads. Then one small sea turtle. That was the Myrtle the Turtle, Chastity and Designs. And it was the one that I did out of the black and white, which was actually, I think, very pretty. Another one that has been with me for a long time, finally sold yesterday since, like the spring, was Madeline Mako's little bee. It's like standing on two legs, a little doll. And that sold. That's actually a transaction that John handled for me while I ran the marathon to get to the bathroom. So he sold two things for me. He sold the bee and one of the car hangers. But fortunately, it was cash. I mean, when I run off like that, I take my phone. Not that I can pee any faster than what I can pee. But if I need to hurry and rush to get back, he can call me and say, hey, you got people here that needs to run a credit card, because he has an Android phone. I have an iPhone, and my reader won't work on his phone. It will only plug into mine. So if he takes care of any customers, which out of all the markets he's gone to with me, this was the first time he's had to actually take care, and take money from a customer. And he did a good job. So they bought that bee and a car hanger. So on the car hangers, I sold 3 yesterday. 2 frogs and an otter. And that is the All from Jade pattern. Then, no surprise, Chase, the Paw Patrol dog, sold. And that is the pattern by Passionate Crafter. And I still have, oh my gosh, I want to call her Fifi again, Sky. She's still there. A lot of comments on her, but Chase went quick. So Chase is on my remake list. Plus, I did those as a test, but I went ahead and bought the bulk pattern where it has 8, I think. 6 of them are Paw Patrols and 2 of them are just like regular dogs, but even just the plain regular dogs are cute. I went ahead and bought that pattern, so I'm going to try. Mind you, I only have, 5 days, 6 days, something like that. I'm going to try to get a Chase and a Marshall and whoever the green one is, because that one doesn't look like it has a lot of sewing. But I'm going to try and get at least 3 of those Paw Patrol dogs done. I don't know if I will, but I'm hoping. Then we sold 2 of the succulent cactus that I've made. And those are ones that I usually sell 1 or 2 each market. And I think I'm down to only 3 now. And I had made quite a few because I enjoyed making them. And that was a mix of, the pot was a free pattern off of Instagram, and the cactus was Knots Merry Yarn, I think. I don't know. I blended two patterns together to come up with those. And then my best sale of the day, my highest dollar sale of the day, I sold my black dragon, the black one with the orange and the red. This couple came in and they looked at it, and this lady's like loves dragons. And they were looking at it, and then they left. They were going to walk around some more. And I don't think it was 10 minutes and they were back. And she bought that dragon. She didn't want it in a bag. She wanted to carry it around with her. And I actually, because she did that, had a lot of people come over to the booth because they saw her carrying that dragon around. And they're like, is this where it came from? And I'm like, yes, it is. I almost sold the smaller version of that in that kind of a purplish color. I forget what the color name is. But then the girl ended up changing to something different. But I mean, I already had the tag off it and everything. And then she changed her mind and got something different. But that was exciting to sell that dragon. I was very shocked. And I did raise my price on it when I did my pricing video. I think I was going to do it for $59 or something, and I went up on the price, so I did get a higher price for it. And it was only the second market that I had taken it to, so maybe it was still low. I don't know. I want to sell them. I don't want to keep bringing them all home with me, but it was an attention getter. So now I have to do something to have another attention grabber type thing. Then I sold, which has also been around with me for quite a while, since the spring, the mini sunflower cow, which was a Rosalie Toys pattern, but I just did it in cream and I want to say teddy bear, and attached a sunflower to it. So that one's always gotten a lot of attention at the markets, but no takers. But yesterday it found its forever home. Then we did 2 of the mini dogs, the little pups, which is also a Rosalie Toys pattern. It's a free one on Instagram. And it's funny because the low-priced items, being outside, I can't display them the same way as I do on the inside. So they haven't been doing as well as they usually do. But I do like how I'm setting them up now. They're just not getting that attention like they used to. Because then I can use my little shelves. I don't have to worry about the wind blowing them off. Right now they're in those white, like utility carts on either side of the wood crates, and so they're not, I don't know, they're just not like grabbing the attention like they do when they're on the little wooden shelves. So we did those, and I sold some loveys. This was funny. I sold 2 loveys and a chicken coaster to the same couple. But when they were in there looking, there was this young-ish teenager, I think. I don't know, it's so hard to guess ages. And she's in there, and she's picking things up, and she's whining about the prices being high. And after about 20 minutes of this, I'd had my fill, and I kind of let her have it a little bit. I was polite but stern, and she's like, "Why do you have to charge so much for this?" And I just looked at her and I said, "Well, how much do you think a person should get paid per hour?" And I'm like, "Well, let's take Florida, since we're in Florida. Minimum wage is $14 an hour right now. So if I paid myself minimum wage for making these, this item right here would cost you about $60. But I don't charge that. So do you still think my prices are too high?" And then I kind of felt bad because I did that. And this couple was in there, and the woman was looking at me, and she's like, "Good for you for sticking up for yourself." She says, "I'm a quilter, and these people just do not think about how much time it takes, not to mention how much the materials cost." But, I mean, the girl did buy something. I don't remember what she bought right now. Let me see. She bought a $5 mini dog. So, yeah. But anyways, this couple, they bought the cow lovey, which is Mama Made Minis, one of the smaller ones where you buy the individual pattern off of Etsy, and the one of the dogs, but I did it in bluey colors. So they got the cow, the bluey, and a chicken coaster. And the chicken coasters, I've just been doing them singly, and you know, I've sold one here and there at the markets, and they don't take up a whole lot of space. I have them sitting over in my checkout area, and so they're usually like that impulse buy. I have those, the dishcloths, usually. Last time I didn't, but this time I did again. And I only have one granny square pouch left. I probably should make a couple of those, but it's not going to happen this week. Okay, so then we sold one of the dogs. It is a Crochet Grove that sits and it wears the bandanas. We sold the one with the blue bandana. The woman said that it looks like her dog at home. Sold one out of 3 of the Baby Grinch, which is a Madeline Mako pattern. Sold one of 2 of the Baby Yodas, which is called Little Alien. And it's a free Instagram pattern. Sold 2 Chonkymon. 1 axolotl, and the axolotl is my pattern. 1 octo, a purple one. The rose pattern from All From Jade. Those usually do pretty good for me. They weren't, I wouldn't say displayed very well this time. I really miss my little wood shelves. I sold I did a pattern test for Eclectic Scribbles, which is Amanda King here on YouTube. And I made 2 of her little possum loveys. I did one and I was like, this is kind of cute. It's really rubbing off on me. So I made a second. And now I've sold both of them. But I sold the one yesterday. And I had 3 of my dumpster fires with me and sold all 3. Could have sold more because I had people coming back looking for it. What I noticed yesterday were people would come in together, like with their kids or with a friend or a spouse, and then one of them would come back later and purchase something that they saw that the other person or children liked. So that was like a repeating theme that went on yesterday. So if I would have had more dumpster fires with me, they would have sold. So that is on my list. So last market I took 2, sold 2. This market I took 3, sold all 3. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking with a 2-day market, 10 of them? I don't know if I have time to make 10. I'll just make what I can because some of these other things, you know, I don't know. I'll just make what I can. Then I sold the baby dragon, which I'll have to put her name on the screen because I can't think of it off the top of my head. Becca, I think. When she saw me talking about the dragons, she had sent me her baby dragon pattern. And I've sold... This is my second one that I've sold. In the last 2 markets, I took 3 with me. I took 3 with me to the previous market, sold 1 there. And then I had 2 with me yesterday and sold 1 there. So I have 1, and these were the smaller version. 1 baby dragon left, but I think I have 3 left from the dungeon that are slightly bigger. So I don't have to worry about making more of those. Finally, sold some frogs. 2 mini frogs, and they are the Instagram. It's a free Instagram pattern. And, oh, something else that we did in our countdown to Christmas patterns, I sold 1 of the new penguins. I took 2 with me, and I sold 1. So I might want to make a couple more of those. Maybe. It's not at the top of the list. Sold 1 of Crochet Customs hot dogs. I think I am down to 3 of those now. But I can't make any more of those because I can't get the terracotta from Michael's. The sweet, I think that's Home Slim on the terracotta. It's been out of stock. You can't go to the store and get it. You can't order it online. It's been a couple of weeks now. I hope they're still going to make it because that's like the best brown color. Then sold 2 small snakes to the same young lady. And that is the Saucy Puffin Crafts pattern. The one, I just like the shape of the head. Sold 1 mini jellyfish from All From Jade, which is a free pattern on Instagram. And I only have 1 left. Those have done pretty well over the last few markets. So I need to make a few of those. Luckily, they're small and quick. I finally sold a couple of scrunchies. Sold 2, a red one and a white one. And these I switched to doing it the way Passionate Kelsey makes hers, with the triple crochet instead of the double. And they're much fluffier. They just look so much nicer. My other ones kind of looked So those will end up like in a clearance basket for maybe $1 or something. But, you know, just to try and get something out of them. And they'll probably sell out at $1. They're just not nice and fluffy like the others. I sold 1 small possum to the same person who bought the giraffe. Now, the possum is my pattern. And when I say it's a small possum, it's because I used Parfait Chunky. And it comes out really tiny. It comes out to a nice size in the Michael's yarn. So she wanted to get the bigger one, but she didn't have enough money. So I showed her the smaller one. And of course, I had different prices on it because it was quite the size difference. She was buying it for her brother. So, and then she even had a couple of dollars left over. So Mom will be happy with her that she went home with money. And that big hippo that I just showed you guys that I did out of the Sweet Snuggles in Coral, that sold. And that is a free pattern on Instagram from Rosalie Toys. And that was funny. That was a case of where people saw it and then one individual came back. So it was an elderly lady that saw it and she just loved it because it reminds her of a movie, which I cannot think of the name of. And the husband came back on his little scooter type, wheelchair type thing. I don't know what they're called. With the little granddaughter. And the granddaughter came in and got the hippo. And unfortunately, I wasn't thinking. And my bags are see-through. Well, I was thinking because I wanted to get the boutique style bags, you know, with the little handles, the paper bags, and then I could just put a sticker on it with my logo. And I let people talk me into getting clear bags because the philosophy behind that is people will be able to see it and it's like getting free advertising. So I went with the clear bags and that's, no. People are Christmas shopping with people that they're Christmas shopping for. They wanted bags that you can't see through, and I did not have that. So I have ordered some. It's supposed to be here this Friday, hopefully, before the market. Hopefully Amazon delivers on time. We'll see. So the hippo went. Then we sold the one moose that I just made. So that is on my, yes, I need to make that list. I sold, this is another funny one. 2 girls with their mom. They each had $20 that they were allowed to spend. And the one girl bought the 2 snakes. The other girl, she wanted to buy all the Madeline Mayco elephants. And I had 4. Not enough money. Better add a few more 20s to that. Then she wanted to get 2 big turtles and 2 little turtles. Nope, can't do that. So finally, the mom and I said, well, you can get one of the bigger turtle, which was $10, and it's my little scrap buster pattern done in Michael's yarn versus Parfait Chunky. So you can get one of these and 2 of the little ones, because I do my little small ones for $5. And then it's like having a mama and 2 babies. So she went for that. So we sold 2 mini turtles and 1 bigger turtle. And we sold the deer, the Madeline Mako deer, the one with the long arms. That sold. And the last thing on my list was another of the small cows, just a black and white one. The Rosalie Toys pattern. And that sold. So, bestseller for quantity-wise was the chick in the egg. Then it was a tie between the car hangers and the dumpster fire. But if I would have had more dumpster fires with me, I think that would have been the #1 seller. Then it was mini frogs, small snakes, scrunchies, and mini turtles. Everything else was two mini dogs and 2 of the succulent plants. Everything else was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But I have a lot of one-offs. Okay, so total sales for the day was $735. And that is I started doing these markets last year in November. And before yesterday, my very first market was my best market, dollar-wise. Now, my very first one for quantity-wise, because I sold a lot of small items at that one, was the very first one. This one, I sold 55 items, did $735 in sales. My booth fee was $45. My square fees were $14.57. So it was $244 in cash and $491 in square. And if you don't take square because you're worried about credit card fees, you're missing out on a lot of sales. You can get the little reader that sticks in your phone. The very first one is free. If you break it like John and I did, it's $10 to replace it. But it just plugs right into your charging port on your phone. So if you don't take square, you really need to think about doing it because you're missing out on a lot of sales, in my opinion. So my gross revenue, this does not count my material costs or anything, was $675.43. All in all, I think it was a very successful market. It felt very slow to me. And like I said, I was pleasantly surprised when I added up the numbers. And at first I wasn't balancing out because I'll add up what I wrote down and compare it to how much money I have in cash and card. And I was off. I'm like, what the heck? Well, as I sold them, I took my tags off and I kept them separate. So I went out, got the tags, and started matching them up to what I wrote down. And what I had missed was one of the Chonkimon. And I thought I had sold 2 of them and had only had 1 written down. But yes, I did. It was 2 Chonkimon. That's what I had missed. So, all in all, I think it was a good day. Then it comes breakdown time. Now, what you're supposed to do, according to the rules, but there are a lot of people there that did not follow the rules. What you're supposed to do is break everything down, then go get your car and come and load your car up and move along so that the traffic can move out. Well, I'm here. There's a lady in a booth right next to me who was also selling crocheted items, but blankets and also quilts. And then next to her was this guy with this big double booth. I mean, this big wide canopy, and he was on concrete. He was not on a slanted hill like I was. But he pulls up with his big truck and his big trailer, and he is blocking the whole road. Now, did he break down before he went and got his truck? No. So now he's breaking down and loading as he goes, and it's taking him forever, and the traffic is backing up. I thought we were going to have a fist fight out there. These people the language My goodness, it's a good thing everybody was adults that was left behind. They were cussing this guy up one side and down the other. Then his wife or girlfriend or whatever gets involved, and she's going up to this lady, and they're in each other's face, and it was like, oh, we're going to have a cat fight. It was crazy. It was also very rude. So the problem was, where I was at, the road splits, and it's like a one-lane road. You can only one car can go down it at a time in any given direction. Okay. Well, there was like a little median where people were supposed to be across from me, and another little kind of like a circle driveway that was over there. So you had this guy with his big truck, and on the other side was another guy with a truck and a trailer blocking that side. So people absolutely could not get out. And after you're there for 8, 10 hours, you just want to go home. This guy he was like, you need to bend to what he was doing. You know, I have a lot of stuff, and, you know, it's big, and it's like, no, don't block the road. You know, pack up your stuff first, and then go get your truck like everybody else had to. But anyways, it was interesting there at the end. So what I'm going to try and do with the Christmas countdown videos is kind of quickly, because editing takes so long, show you what I was able to make on the previous day. Because I will, if I do it the other way that I was doing, which is what I really want to do, but I'm just not going to have time to do it this week, it takes like half my day between filming and then editing and getting it to upload and make a thumbnail and all that stuff. Anybody else on here that's watching that does videos, they understand. But it takes a lot to do that. So if I'm just sitting here going, oh, what I made this, and I tell you about the pattern, and, you know, if I like it or not, then it's a lot easier to do. Now, of course, if I could record a video without getting tongue-tied, making a mistake, or coughing, or sneezing, or having to get up and run to the restroom or anything like that, then I wouldn't have to edit. But I'm just not good like that. Anyhow, thank you guys. I was looking at the comments. I have not had a chance to respond, and everybody was wishing me good luck, and yeah. So I have a whole bunch of comments to go catch up on, and I'm going to see you tomorrow, I'm sure, at some point. All right. We'll see you in the next video. All right, you guys, we were so tired and wore out, we forgot to start the after until we already started packing things up. So, yeah.
That's the after.
Yeah, the after. So, these did not sell out. They're in these bags. And the other one, John's already taken it apart. So, yeah, sorry guys. I screwed up again.